Hi, everybody. I'm Garrett Schwegler, the Program Manager for Digital Commerce at LucidWorks. I'm really excited to be here today and talk with you all about accelerating the path to purchase with product discovery. This is your Lunch and Learn segment, so grab your lunch and I hope you enjoy. So over the next 30 minutes, I'd really like to plant a few seeds so that as we emerge from this whirlwind of holiday, you'll be ready to revisit these strategies and identify ways to incorporate them in your roadmaps as we continue down this extraordinary journey of commerce amidst COVID. Before we jump in, I must admit that I am quite a car guy. I really appreciate design and function and style and the experience, maybe experience more so than the others. And it probably stemmed from these days. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, where it typically looked like this, snow on the ground and trying to have as much fun as we could. And this is really where I feel like the passion for driving and the passion for automobiles started. And I think it's probably that I could go anywhere, right? And shortly after mastering walking, here we are driving around. So this new experience, way more fun, and something that's really stuck with me. This is not my car, and if you fast forward a few decades from that last picture, this is kind of where it's taken me. So I've recently participated in an autocross event, very unique and exhilarating experience. You're ultimately driving, some of the most powerful cars in the world, and you go around a cone course, and then at the end, you get to put the pedal down and really feel that acceleration. And now that definitely delivered on the experience. It's really amazing what cars can do these days. But I also have an appreciation for all cars, and especially the evolution of cars and automobiles. And the really early 1900s, we had an automobile like this. We'll call this the 1902 model. It's pretty functional, and it works for most people. It doesn't really have a smooth ride or many safety features. It's obviously missing a roof and doors, headlights. I don't think it has a parking brake, judging by the chalk there and under the front right tire. But it was great for its time, right? And then eventually expectations changed. A few years later, we get this, a 1932 Stutz. The result of testing, experimenting, iterating, listening to customers, and getting creative and really building something more mature that checks all the boxes to deliver on these new expectations, right? We have comfy seats, bigger gas tanks, we have windows, a roof, bigger tires, spare tires, right? The experience has totally changed now. It's become less about 100% function and more about enjoying the experience of getting around from A to B and anywhere in between in style. So if you're trying to sell the trusty 1902 special against this beautiful car on the right, you're not going to meet the new expectations that shoppers have. Now I see this as being relevant as expectations in product discovery are changing. For sure, search and product discovery have evolved over the last 20 years, and even more so, accelerated over the last few months. Obviously, the Google and Amazon experiences have influenced expectations. So have really innovative brands like Netflix and Lululemon. And of course, the pandemic has accelerated this adoption to commerce for many, and everyone is coming in with these high expectations. So if your product discovery experience is lacking or out of date, not meeting these new expectations, like trying to sell the 1902 special to people who really want the new Stutz, then with the click of a mouse, your shoppers are off to the competition. Now, I realize that many of us are keeping the lights on with some older technology, and some of us have upgraded, but still have holes in the commerce funnel. So today, I'll remind us of those holes and recommend solutions to get more people down the path to purchase faster. For the car people out here, this is the 1932 Stutz DV32, and this is at the 2017 Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach. I moved somewhere a little bit warmer. This is just about an hour or so south of where I am now. All right, so let's review some functional commerce experiences. Do your category pages feel like this sometimes? I don't even know if this is really functional, but ultimately your shoppers can see what you're selling and maybe grab something here and there, right? Listing pages often feel like this, where the retailer is leading with clearance items and creating disjointed shopping experiences where there's a mishmash of products on the page. So maybe those pages look like this, functional, right? When browsing and scrolling through the top level category pages at really the highest level, these experiences often feel disjointed. So it seems messy and feels like you're jumping from one rack to the next as you go from product to product. And it's creating this difficult shopping experience, ultimately creating friction and not helping the shopper browse the assortment. So again, we're leading here with discounted products, where when there's new products, there's regular price products that you'll find when you paginate, but not what we're leading off with. So this is not the experience that will get shoppers down the funnel faster. Here's another example of browsing a top-level category and being presented a smattering of products from different categories. This isn't going to get us down the funnel faster either. And then how about this, right? Shoppers are searching for products that are in your catalog, and we only return a portion of them. 20 results for car wax when there are 107 in waxes. We don't want to hide products from our shoppers. When you hide relevant products from a search experience, the shopper will assume that you don't sell it and move on to the competition. We've heard that before, right? If you can't find it, you can't buy it. So it's incredibly important to recall all the right products in your catalog for the shopper to quickly find what they're looking for and add it to cart. A similar idea here, and again, let's not make shoppers guess how to find products on your site. There are 3 electric reels in the catalog, as you can see from the screenshot with the filters. And when you search for power reels, you get an assortment of poles. I think we have poles and reel combos. And position 1 is actually an electric reel, which is great. But what about the other 2? So the assumption may be that you only sell 1. This is critical in getting the customers down the commerce funnel faster and accelerating that path to purchase. So over the last few slides, we've seen some product discovery problems, right? And maybe more specifically in those last couple, some search problems. So how do we fix them? Well, this is what I feel like we're still doing today. And what I used to do is head to the analytics tool, pull our search logs, get it into Excel, and find different ways to slice and dice it, and ultimately getting diminishing returns as we head further down from the head to the torso to the tail. And this is just not sustainable. And the ROI on an individual or a team of people tackling the spreadsheet of 10,000 plus search terms, trying to find ones that aren't performing well, and making rules one at a time to fix a search for 3 or 4 instances over the last week. It's just, the ROI is just not there. We need to use our technology and our team's time better to deliver better experiences across all of product discovery. What about personalization? For the most part, when I think of personalization today, I think polarizing. Here I am shopping for a rice cooker, and the recommendations are these Caterpillar games. I don't have kids. I think this would be great for kids, not for me. Don't remember clicking, searching, browsing for these guys in the past, so not really sure where the recommendation is coming from. Now, we really all have experiences like this as both consumers and experts in the e-commerce industry. And you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, this is painful, and we want to make it better. So we'll get to that soon. Delivering this winning experience. So that's all I have for the low light reel. I know it can be painful, but I wanted to remind everybody of the opportunity that's out there. Those were all examples of slowing down the product discovery experience and that path to purchase. Likely in many cases, it was ending it abruptly, delivering bounces and exits, not what we want. So now to the good stuff. I've grouped the low light reel into a few topics: So we'll have merchandising, search relevance, and personalization. And I'll talk to these strategies in context of our product, LucidWorks Fusion. However, we do have parallel tactics that you'll pick up through these slides and the conversation that will help you keep the lights on until you're ready to make that jump. So what will accelerate the path to purchase? How can you deliver winning experiences like this best in class? This, I believe, is the pre-World War II Lincoln, I believe. They definitely don't make them like they used to. So starting with merchandising. The goal here should be to establish both clarity and continuity in experiences so that shoppers can quickly navigate your catalog. You could merchandise rows by collection, style, color, product type. And here we have a row of pants, which is grouped by collection. This makes it easy for the shopper to evaluate the products while scrolling through the pant category. When higher up in the shopping journey, you want to make sure that you have an experience like this. You're probably saying, yeah, right. How am I going to scale this? I've got a gazillion category pages to do this for. So you can do this by creating different zones on the page to quickly get shoppers to different groups of products and also content. As seen at the top of the page, there's shoppers that can launch quickly into subcategories of products if they're looking for something more specific. And I'll show a couple of ways that we can do this with our tools over the next couple slides. Here's another winning experience. When customers click into a top-level category, don't just throw up like a mishmash of products at them, right? So there's probably hundreds of different oil products that are behind each of these categories, and we need to make it simple. So take the time to guide shoppers with a curated experience. These experiences are what they're expecting and will accelerate that path to purchase. One more on merchandising. Many companies have lots of amazing content hiding behind navigation and really other silos in the site. So this is a great example of integrating strong and rich content in the product discovery experience. You can communicate with your shoppers about the products, the stories, and the value add that your company provides throughout the product discovery experience to add confidence to those shoppers while they're browsing. Additionally, here we're seeing a merchandise group of products with the same front-facing color in that bottom row. You can get creative, experiment, make it engaging and compelling, and move forward with what's best for your customer. This is a look into our tool, Predictive Merchandiser. There's all kinds of ways to boost, bury, pin, add, block. You can either use the menu that you see there, you can drag and drop. So you can assort your products and your filters into whatever way you feel like is going to be compelling to your shoppers. Now, I suggest applying this for the top 5%. Tackle your top categories and let the machine learning apply for the other 95%. Machine learning can sort your filters for every context, whether it's search, browse, or search and browse, to be in the order of what's important to your shoppers. So this also, of course, applies to sorting the products. And in addition to this tactical approach, we can take a more broad approach. Here's another area of our Predictive Merchandiser tool, templates. And I mentioned earlier that you can merchandise rows by collection, style, color, product type. This makes it easier for the shopper to evaluate products while scrolling through the assortments. So when they're higher up in the shopping journey, you want to provide an experience like this. How do you do it at scale? As I mentioned, you can create these different zones and ultimately templates that you can apply across the site to put products and content into those zones. And you do this with a query, so the products and content, as they come and go, and as your catalog's evolving, the zones will dynamically update. So this is great. You won't have any dead links or empty spaces laying around. Great, so that was merchandising. Now remember this one, digging through the search reports to find problems and fix them. Let's let the machine do this. So let the system do the analyzing and recommend improvements to low-performing queries so that you can work on more strategic initiatives around merchandising and testing into larger solutions for recall or relevancy and personalization. Our machine learning jobs target misspellings, phrase detection, synonyms, and also a head-tail analysis for low-performing queries. You can have your search analyst swing on by and hit approve or set it to auto approve and get back to the bigger opportunities. So while the machine is managing search day to day, the team can focus on the more strategic initiatives like analyzing and experimenting different models and tweaking them here and there. On that note, I'd encourage everyone to have a New Year's resolution this year. Experiment more in 2021. Constant iterations and capitalizing on those learnings will improve your product discovery experience significantly. But what about when we get to the days where it's more hands-free and it's less about rules, but rather understanding all the data that we're collecting about sessions and how people are getting to different products and what products are meeting their needs, and then automatically correcting what would have been a zero result search to a group of products that will meet their needs and increase the chance of getting that add to cart. I'm not sure what they're using here, but LucidWorks has models inspired by problems like this. We all have this use case. So when we look at the zero results, then analyze all kinds of behavior afterwards, what they're searching for, adding to cart, browsing, and crunching all that data to return relevant results. So here, the example could be like somebody is searching for Pampers and maybe they don't carry it, maybe they're sold out. Whatever the case is, there's a message here about there wasn't an exact match. And so maybe they have a rule here, I'm not sure, but we've developed here at LucidWorks the capability to serve up relevant products as if it was a search result, rather than giving a null result, this is going to be pretty powerful as we continue to tackle search problems with advanced approaches like this. Lastly, let's revisit personalization. So here's the example from earlier, the Caterpillar games. Today, personalization is much more than recommendations, right? Recommendations are a critical part of the experience. However, this is still what I would call a functional delivery of the feature or experience. You do have to get it right, but how can we deliver the winning experience to wow our customers, right? It's more than recommendations. So customers explicitly provide information to us in their profiles and throughout the shopping journey that could be used to improve their product discovery experience. They expect the shopping experience to know them individually and not grouping them into a segment that doesn't identify them correctly. So just as if they were in the store and working with a store associate, that associate picks up on their signals, whether it's facial expressions, body language, verbal feedback. There are many signals that help the associate curate the rest of the experience as they learn about the shopper. Online, we can follow their clicks, like clicks on colors, filters, the different categories, the sizes, fabrics, the different ways that they're sorting by price and newness and top sellers, to really understand them better and not only influence their recommendations, but also the ranking of the products throughout the search and browse experience. It's like having a personal shopping assistant, really. So building on that, and for the purpose of this venue, I take a screenshot of our demo site to show you what this looks like. So whether it's a live session or a previous session that we've been tracking information on, we can detect affinities or preferences, both implicit and explicit, and start to incorporate that in the way that we serve products to the shopper. So in my session here, I conveyed a preference for the gender men's and the color blue throughout my session. So when I submit a vague query like pants, we can influence the product's return by both the gender and color affinity or preference that I've expressed throughout my shopping journey. And this does not impact recall, but rather the sort of the products to make sure that we get the most relevant for that individual to the top of the results, right? This is really the know me, make it easier for me to find what I'm looking for and accelerate my path to purchase. So that's all the content today. We are LucidWorks, the search and product discovery nerds, serving all sizes of companies and brands, from the largest multinational brands to the smaller digital natives. We're across all verticals and industries in both B2B and B2C. And we're here to help you evolve from the functional product discovery experience like that 1902 model and accelerate the path to purchase with product discovery. So with that, thank you for your time and attention. We love talking with passionate business and technical leaders about different use cases and opportunities. I invite you to swing by our virtual booth here at the conference. We'll be here happy to answer any questions and talk about examples like this, or maybe some specific examples that you have. We're really here to get everybody over this line from driving just these functional experiences to really rich, fast, converting, relevant experiences. So happy to have a chat at our virtual booth. And otherwise, I invite you to reach out. You have my email there and allislucidworks.com. So thanks for your time today. Hope you had a nice lunch. Hope you learned a little bit. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a great day.